So I got 850 newtons acting upward. I got the 750 newtons acting downward. I'm going to define up as positive. So I do sum of the forces equals MA. I got 850 newtons minus 750 newtons equals 750 divided by 9.8 times A. And so you get 8.1.3 meters per second squared. Any question or problem on that? Okay, then there's one more problem I've got to have you do. Here it comes. Okay. A 550 Newton guy is on an elevator that is accelerating 2.4 meters per second squared downward. Find his apparent weight. Is it still running? Cool. Yeah, someday I will. There's like a Sony camcorder that costs like $900. It's really good. Someday I'll buy that. Of course, I probably never take it to class. I'll just use that for the rest of my career.
Or the videos that you already have. Or the videos that you already have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the videos I already have. Yeah, in fact, I'll use those. That's my favorite. Is everybody doing a free body diagram and sum of the forces equals MA?
I tried.
And by the way, when I ask for his apparent weight, what am I really asking for?
How much he feels.
Yeah, the normal force. Yeah, you're right, it's how much he feels, but the normal force. I want the normal force.
Sorry. Damn it, sorry. Did I read it wrong? Oh, I did. Yeah.
By the way, he's accelerating downwards, so what's true about his acceleration? Is it positive or negative? Negative. So make sure when you do sum of the forces equals MA, that A better be negative 2.4, because he's accelerating downwards. What's that? Correct. Yeah, if you define down as positive, then the acceleration would be positive, and the left side would be 550 minus F sub m.
Look, you just plug on the phone.
Maybe it's like giving my acceleration.
Because it's down. Huh?
Wait. You know me and Zena already. Yeah.
You and Xena are what?
Yeah, have equals.
Are you really? Yeah, I don't believe it.
They are
Really? Like how close that is?
Yeah, I call his dad.
They're not.
That's cute. Are you guys wear the same glasses?
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wiring.
Yeah.
You guys are so funny.
Yeah, I got
Where'd you get it?
415.3.
Okay, guys. Hey, I got to do this problem now. Hopefully, people are getting it right. On the left side, I want to really train you. On the left side, you're going to list all the forces. That's what goes on the left side. Any forces that are happening go on the left side of this equation. So I got F sub n minus 550. Okay? On the right side, I got the mass, which is 550 divided by 9.8. And that'll never be a negative 9.8 because there's just a relationship between weight and mass. Weight is 9.8 times mass. Mass is weight divided by 9.8. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I'm going to get the acceleration. Oh, and the acceleration, because he's accelerating downward, is going to be negative 2.4 meters per second squared. And so now you solve for F sub n, and what'd you guys get, like 415? Okay. Yeah, 415 newtons. Great. Now, let me ask you another question. Here, this was F sub n equals 550 newtons minus 550 over 9.8 times 2.4. Okay? Here's the last question I want to ask you before we go. You'll notice I ended up with 415 because 550 minus 550 over 9.8 times 2.4 gave me 415. But what if I cut the cable? What if I cut the cable? So now, what would his acceleration be instead of negative 2.4? Negative 9.8. It'd be negative 9.8, right? So it'd be 9.8. So tell me, what would his apparent weight be now? 0. You would feel weightless. If I cut the cord, if I cut the cable, you would feel weightless. You would feel like it takes no force to support you. You would feel like you're floating. And that's what it feels like when you're in free fall. Let me give you an example. Has anyone ever gone on those Magic Mountain or Disneyland rides where you free fall for a short period of time? And has anybody ever held an object out and right when you start free falling, you let go of the object? Good. And what happens to it?
Oh, I got a question.
Yes. Wait, shh.
Why are you subtracting the 550 divided by 9.8?
Because there was a minus sign here, so I brought that minus sign out.
It wouldn't be in front of the 2.4?
No, well, I mean, it could be if I wanted it to, but I wanted to put it there so it makes it even more clear to everybody that this number ends up being the same as that number when I accelerate downward at 9.8. But if you want, I could leave it negative 9.8 and put that as a positive. Okay, but let me ask again for the Disneyland ride. Has anyone ever held an object out and let go of it, and then you free fall? And what does the object do? Well, it goes with you. Has anyone ever done where it hovers in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. That's because when you're free falling, everything is accelerating at the same rate, so we're all weightless together. Again, it'd be no different than if you took that object and went into outer space and let it go. It would just float there, just like you are. Okay, well, thanks a lot.